All right, we are live. We are late. It wasn't Sean's fault, but we blaming him anyways. It was Sean's fault we was late. That's what we do around here. We blame Sean. So welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy from Philbilly Moonshine, joined by my co-host, Master Distiller Sean Rigsby. And man, we are grateful enough to have, in my mind, one of the greatest coppersmiths in the world today as one of our guests. Our boy Andrew. We don't need to give out last names. Everybody knows who Andrew is already. So welcome to the show, Andrew.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me on. That's quite the intro. That means a lot, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, we say what we mean around here. We mean what we say, and it's all uncut. So if you don't want something to be talked about, just say next question. Or, if you don't want something to be out there, don't say it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So that means we can drink and cuss and get rowdy then, right?
You damn right. That's what it's all about. So, welcome everybody back. Sorry we didn't make it on Monday right after Christmas. We blaming that one on Sean because we wasn't here. That was his fault. I forget the real reason why we didn't make it Monday, but I'm pretty sure it was Sean's fault. So,
yeah, it usually is. So I just whatever.
Just accept it and move on. We're all good. So I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hope everybody enjoyed the time with the family, enjoyed the time with the kids. Sean's got some little ones. It's always magical when the kids are real little. So
you said you got a 2-year-old, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just the one.
So we've got her. We got a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Ooh, son.
That's a gap.
Two boys and a girl.
Nice. Yeah, I've got a 2 and a 4-year-old.
Oh man,
they're fun, but man, sometimes I'll tell you
how you don't have as much hair as I do. I don't know.
Well, I'm losing it all up top.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, by the time they're teenagers, you'll have the Big Easy haircut. So
yeah.
Buy stock and razor blades. You'll be glad you did.
Say it'll be white by then, right?
Probably so.
So Mother Nature was grateful enough over Christmas to drop us the whole country into a polar vortex. Mm-hmm. So let's go on ahead and have a moment of silence for all the stalled ferments that happened over the weekend. Especially everybody in the South who ain't used to this Yankee weather. We sent it down for y'all, and everybody's like, I saw a big uptick. How do I warm my mash back up? How do I warm my mash back up? And it's like, you must be down south on Mason-Dixon line. Mm-hmm. You ain't used to this cold weather. Get you an aquarium heater. You'll be all right.
Yep. Oh, yeah, an aquarium heater works wonders, man. I mean, I see people talk about, like, what are the heating blankets and stuff like that, but an aquarium heater is the way to go. You drop it in, it's good to go,
Just like them heating elements.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yep.
So I use them to like preheat the night before. I load your still the night before, toss it in the still. So when you go out the next morning, it's 90 degrees, and it cuts about an hour and a half of your heat up time because it's balls cold outside. Kind of worry about that mash freezing overnight sometimes here. So. Yeah.
See, we usually don't have the problem of mash freezing down here, especially once it's in the still. I mean. So but I still do the same thing. I'll preheat, the night before Friday. I usually run on a Saturday. But Friday night I'll get home from work and just flip it on until, nice and low until I'm ready for bed, cut it back off. Usually by then have hit at least 130, 140, go to bed, wake up, I'm at least warmer than, the 40 or 30 degrees or so that it is outside. So
that's the way to go. Yeah. Little preheat action saves you some time.
Yeah, a wise man once told me that you should probably drain your still before it gets negative 30 degrees outside and freezes in it.
Oh, are you is that from knowledge to where you found your still with 3 inches of ice on top?
Sure is.
All right.
Yeah. I bet it'll blow the cap off or something, man. Once it gets freezing.
Don't worry about it.
It wasn't on it.
Yeah. It wasn't that full, but I guess a wise man once told me. I learned the hard way. That's how the wise man told me. So,
but you only learn it that one time. You'll never forget it.
That's right. Well, the best lessons, they're usually painful. So,
like George Washington, Sean, man, I don't know how you walk around dressed up as a Wookiee year round. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, you got a
Well,
hell of
I
a
usually-
Santa Claus suit. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Look at that shirt under there.
Yeah,
He had that all planned out.
I did. All planned out. Yeah, you know how it is. Where's your
Strip for
shirt
us,
at,
Sandy.
Sean?
Strip for us.
Hey,
Hmm?
man, that costs money. I don't get naked for free.
Hey, just you got to give him more shots. That's why they call him Big Easy.
Hey.
That's what I was gonna say. Y'all come out to Maggie Valley. I've seen them start to strip before. I don't know.
It was hot. When it's hot, it's free. Depends about how hot it is. So I tell everybody, you want to know why they call me Big Easy? Buy me 3 shots. You'll find out.
That's right.
I'm a cheap date.
There you go.
So
So did y'all have a good Christmas though?
yeah, it was good.
Oh, yeah.
My kids are older. They don't care about anything. It's all, you're weird. Stop looking at me. Don't talk to me.
Just leave me alone and we'll be
Yep.
good.
That's the life of teenagers. You know how it is. So
Yeah.
And I need more money.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's always I need more money. That's a must. So,
Santa Claus bringing y'all anything good?
debt,
Yeah.
Hey, got to see the kids, a magical face on the kids, man.
Yeah,
That's
there
what it's
you
all
go,
about,
there you
and that's
Yeah.
what you
Well-
live for. And I know for y'all, you got them little kids, so it's real magical. And so,
Yeah, magical, but I've now got like a bunch of toys that make noise around my house. They're all just running around hitting buttons and just driving me nuts with them. So
if you start playing with them, they'll die faster. And then,
well, I was thinking they'll become bath toys,
that works too. As long as they're low voltage, you'll be all right.
Yeah, that's
Throw
when
'em
we
all
were
in
kids.
one
That's
time.
what my mom used to say. You keep pushing them damn buttons, it's going to be a damn bath toy soon enough.
That's awesome.
So what are y'all drinking on tonight?
Let the guest of honor go first.
So I am drinking on a Whistle Pig bourbon that I actually picked up today on the way home from work. So first time I've had it, but it's pretty good. So I've got some rum aging actually out back. Speaking of the freeze, I thought it was a good time. I got 3 gallons of rum aging. I threw it all out back so that take advantage of that good cold weather while it was here.
What's the cold weather? What is it, like 40 degrees, 30 degrees?
No. I'm talking about.
Talking about the weather changes.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about that too. But no, when that cold front came through, and it got like almost 5 degrees here.
That vortex dropped it way down. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I threw it outside. None of it froze. So it means that's good high proof
That's
liquor
good.
in there. So
high proof liquor.
yeah.
Nothing like them temperature changes to help.
Man.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's one of our advantages. We don't have many up here, but it definitely helps make good liquor.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Oh, you've got to have that temperature swing to pull it in that wood and push it back out, So
all right, show us them Busch Light apples, Sean.
Well, I don't have any of that right now. I mean, I do, but I'm not drinking it tonight. I'm drinking some of that Yingling Hershey's.
Man, I asked you earlier, man. Is it coffee? Does the chocolate make it? Does it give it that? It's usually, chocolate liquor always has those coffee tones to it. And
Yeah, it's like dark chocolate, dark Hershey's chocolate, and but aside of that, I'm drinking some Cincinnati Distilling 2-year-old bourbon.
hell yeah.
I generally don't like bourbon, but it's not too dark.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 years, so
There you go.
You lost me. It gets close to that coffee, man. It's just not my day.
Yeah.
It's not my deal. So,
What are you drinking?
what? So I went out to Pennsylvania and picked up a bunch of Jimmy Red corn, and I stopped and seen our boy JJ, old Joe Jackson from the last podcast, and he hooked me up with some malted blue corn liquor. And I haven't tried it yet, so I'm gonna try it. And he already knows I'm gonna tell him how clean it is, so we'll skip that part.
I heard a rumor that you guys had loaded like 8,000 pounds of corn in the back of a truck.
Yeah, it was 2,000 pounds of corn in the back of a pickup truck.
They said it was bounced. They was bottomed out the whole.
Pretty much. So we go and we pick up this corn, and and I'm like, hey Sean, man, I'm running out here to see McDonald, and I'm picking up all this corn. If you want me to grab you some corn, I'll grab it for you. No problem. And he's like, yeah, man. And he comes back. He's like, hey, man, I put an order for 500 pounds. And I'm like, bro, I'm already picking up 2,000 pounds in a quarter-ton pickup truck. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Fuck it. Let's get it. So we get there, and I got the bright idea. I'm like, I'm going to put Sean's corn in the back seat. That way I don't get it mixed up. I start throwing his bags in, and this sumbitch got his corn ground. So the inside of this truck has just got fucking corn dust all flying all over it, man. And I look in there, and you'd have thought I had a fog machine rolling in that sumbitch. And I'm cussing. It's this piece of shit. He did this to me on purpose. I know he did. I got a fucking grinder at home. I could have ground this shit for him.
Hey, Easy's claim to fame is lazy. I out-lazied your ass that time.
You damn right you did, man. It cost me. That one got me. I admit that one got me. And so, and so I'm like, hey, Phil, open the door over here. We got this sumbitch air out before we can leave, man. I ain't going to be able to breathe. And I throw my jacket over it. And the whole way home, like every time you hit a bump, it's just breathing like a baby powder.
That fine distillers. It leaks through the bags, man.
The bags are pointless.
Yeah.
And so we get back, and I looked like Ashy Larry by the time we got back. And so I get out and I get home, and I get the kids helping me unload it. And the back of this truck is it's white. Like a kid went in there with a bag of flour and just dumped it everywhere. And so I'm like, damn it, before I can take this thing back, I got to go vacuum it out. So here, it's 11:30 at night. I'm at the car wash, vacuuming out all this corn dust out of this truck before I return it. And I'm like, this piece of shit. Sean, you're a piece of shit. I wanted to call him on FaceTime and just sit him there so he could hear me bitching at him the whole time. But, it was a funny experience, and it was a good story. But, yeah, we put 2,500 pounds in a Silverado and drove it 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I know over 65, it felt like a Jeep with the death wobble. I know that. So I put it on 65 and tried to roll home as fast as I could. So, but we made it, and so I do know.
You've got a Silverado, a lightly used Silverado for sale.
No, that was I rented that. I rented that for $100. It went back last night. So that was definitely a rental truck.
Oh, that's funny.
It's only got 17,000 miles on it, but it's hauled about 3,000 pounds.
Right. Facebook Marketplace. I know what I got.
I know what I got. So that's awesome. So Andrew, tell us a little about yourself. We all know you're a still builder. You're a fantastic still builder. We'll get into that later. We want to hear about your love for liquor. Like when at what age did you fall in love with moonshine, and how did it help you progress to where you are today?
Yeah, so I guess it really all kind of starts at the beginning where I became a still builder, because I was a still builder before I ever made liquor. So I built stills for several years before ever making a drop of liquor. Long story short, we started North Georgia Still Company as a family. It's a family-owned operation. Me, my dad, my brother, my wife. Hell, my mom kind of helps out here and there. Like literally, about as family-owned as you can get. So when we started it, I guess it would be going on 5.5 years. We started in 2017 in July. But once we had started it, me and my brother, who had already been building stills for a while at the time, we had never made a drop of liquor. We liked building the stills, but we really just, for whatever reason, we'd never really figured, hey, let's pick up one of these damn things that we're building and try it, And so it was really my dad's idea. He's like, y'all are building these things, and it might make sense for us to figure out how to run one, So our first run of liquor was a peach moonshine, and it tasted like shit.
It's peach brandy.
Peach brandy. Yeah. And it did. It tasted like shit. We scorched the hell out of it, and but that first run, that So that's what drove us to make that first run, was kind of figure out what we were really doing.
Yeah.
And from there, it was a failure, total failure, but
Same.
it kind of lit a fire. Like, well, I
Yeah.
want to figure out how to make it right, you know. And from there, we've all just kind of been mesmerized with it. You know, once I feel like once you run your first still, it kind of bites you a little bit. It's like a, you know, I'll steal this one from my dad. He says it's like a vampire bites you. It gets in your blood. You know, it's from that on, then on, you know, it becomes who you are. You're obsessed with it. So that's kind of how we got started making liquor in a roundabout way, by making stills first. So we kind of went backwards. You know, most people probably, I mean, I guess you got to build a still before you make your first run of liquor. But I feel like most people these days probably, before they even attempt to build a still, might go get a Beaver or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, try that first. So,
But, you know, 5-6 years ago, that wasn't there. You know, it wasn't there. Like, you couldn't, that little test rig,
it wasn't. Yeah.
That little test rig wasn't ready available. But, you know, like, you started making it, and I was telling somebody earlier, like, you know, your first run, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If it tastes like a tire fire or the best shit you ever tasted in your life, as soon as it comes out of the end of that worm, and all your hard work that you put in, it pays forth, and you see it happens, you're hooked. You're hooked. Yeah. You know, it's unlike any drug. You fell in love with something that you can create and you can control from beginning to end, because there aren't very many things in your life that you can control everything from start to finish, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 100% yours, you know. Whether it tastes good or bad, it's yours. You cannot reproduce that anywhere in the world.
No.
You know, you and I can run the same recipe, off the exact same
completely
still.
Different.
Yep.
But you living in Ohio, and wherever you get your water from and your grain from is going to be different. Wherever I get, you know, my water and grain, I mean, it's the climate, that everything is, it makes it totally different, which I think is, one of the coolest things about it.
It is. You know, even if, say, I come down to Georgia and we had the same water, the same ingredients, the same stills, to me, the biggest factor in how things taste and how runs go is the person running it. You know, it's that person. You're going to run it a little different than him, than the other. They might like their cuts a little different. One person might heat up faster. One
person might filter it, and the other person may not.
Yeah, and you know, so in the end, you know, the biggest factor in your run is you. It is you. You know, like, ingredients are ingredients. It's what you do with it. What kind of magic can you make? It's just like, if you hand me and Sean a sheet of copper, you know, that thing's going to be battered. but you hand Andrew a sheet of copper, and that thing's going to look like a work of art. So it's the difference, you know. It's all about who's running it, who's manning the tools, and how much work and time that you've put into to craft that, you know, to be master of your craft.
Yeah.
So I heard Sean's boss in the background. Yep, that's Sean's boss. So what was the so you ran to Peach Brandy, and it turned out like ass. What'd you follow up with that after that? Did you just like, man, let's try some grain, or did you
I think it was a whirlwind from there, man. We started doing everything. I think the next one was just like a straight corn liquor. From there, we brought home a little 5-gallon still.
Nice.
And
R&D
then
pot.
And then it went through, I think we went from to a 10 somehow. I think we got a 10-gallon pot. And then from there we went straight to a 30 to a 50, and now we run a 75.
Yeah. Hey man, there's no going back, you know.
No, I mean, it's hard to
always go up.
Yeah. But you keep a little one here and there. You need a little R&D. You want to try something.
So so when I speak about our stills too, you know, like we've all got kind of our own personal stills, and then the family still, which is really my dad's, because he gets to keep it at his house. He likes, you know,
it's like it's both of ours, but we keep it at Dad's house.
You know, it's kind of more his than it is mine. But
we get it.
You know,
yes, we spend time with it sometimes. I can take it on walks and feed it when he's not around. So I get it, man. It's like
So, but at my house, I've got a 20-gallon, and that, I think for me, that's a really good size still for just
Oh,
like
yeah.
being able to mess around and like experiment with stuff. And it's not so big that you have to commit to a whole, like a huge, a huge bill of grain or anything like that to be able to make something.
I said a 20-gallon is ideal for a home distiller. You know, your mashes are big enough to where it's worth your time.
Yep.
And they're small enough to where your mistakes don't break your pocket.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Which, yeah, I mean, I'd say 10 to 20 gallons, which I kind of feel like makes like a 15-gallon keg, like the perfect entry still, you know?
Yep.
You see a lot of people come in with kegs, you know, like, hey man, just give me a keg. I scorch it, give me another keg.
Yep.
I dropped it. I didn't unhook it. It didn't suck in. You know, you can't crumple that keg. Good luck.
Kegs are about indestructible, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. So, what was the first size still that you ever built?
I mean, probably somewhere in the 5 to 20-gallon range. So, you know, I got started. I started building stills for a guy about 10 years ago. Back then, it was American Coppersmith, and just so happened a buddy that knew him, he needed help. Is one of these guys that kind of had multiple businesses going at a time, and the still business was kind of a slush fund type, kind of a side project almost for him. But I got in there and started kind of helping him, and I picked up on it really quick. And I liked it. I loved it. You know, it's fun. You're getting to construct stuff and build things, and so that's. I couldn't tell you exactly the first size still I built personally. But it would have been 5, 10, 20 gallons, something like that, all the way through. But yeah, that was about 10 years ago. He wound up moving off to Oregon about, I guess, almost 6 years ago now. And that's kind of when me and my family at the time, you know, over time, my brother, I had taught him how to build stills. He kind of started coming to work for that old company. And once he left, we're kind of sitting around like, man, we're really good at building these things. Like, why don't we do it for ourselves? And I'm doing a terrible job of telling this story because there's all kinds of nuance into it. But you're speaking, but I can't hear you.
I'm talking to somebody else. You got to do your thing. I'm sorry.
I was looking at you. I was like, are you talking to me?
No, I'm not. Do your thing. Ignore me.
No,
uncut.
Ignore me like Sean does.
But yeah, the old boss basically moved off to Oregon, kind of left some bad blood behind. And that's when me and my brother and my family and my dad, we all looked down. We're like, man, y'all, we can do this. Like, let's do this and do it right. You know, he wasn't really doing it as a real business at the time. Yeah. He's kind of doing it as extra money in his pocket. You know, I'm sure the IRS would have a fucking field day with him. But so yeah, that's, you know, to answer your question in a roundabout way, that's, you know, probably somewhere 5, 10 gallon still is what I built first time.
We like the long roundabout answer.
I know. Cool. It's all interconnected.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
The story is never a straight line, right?
Never. You must have been here before. Yeah. We get there like, well, wait, what was I talking about a minute ago? Like, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Get me back on track. Oh yeah, let me finish that story. So I got Sean's corn in my barn, right? I'm having an open pool, and we're going to pick how long. Everybody can buy a square to see how long it sits in my barn before he picks it up. Bushlight apples was about 3 months, and I had to take him to it. I have already purchased Ian's going to deliver it after 6 months square. All the other ones are available.
Okay. How far apart do you two live?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it's
no excuse. Y'all should
30 minutes down the highway.
Couch. Come on.
I guess I know where I'm going at 8 a.m. in the morning. How much do I get for winning this square?
You don't get to buy in. Sean doesn't get to buy in. So I imagine if you get with somebody, and they'll split the winnings with you. You know, you can fix it your way, I guess. So house gets a cut though. House always gets a cut.
Ugh.
So what's your best-selling size stills?
10 and 20 gallon. And I would say 20 gallon, I think, has the edge. I think we sell more 20 gallons than anything else. But yeah, 10 and 20 gallon.
Yeah. I always tell people, man, it's 15 up, you know, beer keg or larger, because you can always go up, but, you know, you don't want to go down.
Right. Yeah. And you can always do small batches in a bigger still, but once, like we have a lot of people, man, they'll go and get a 5-gallon still. And then literally a couple months later, they're like, I'm ready for a 20 or a 30 gallon, and it's like, if you'd have got the 20 or 30 gallon to begin with, you could have learned on that still and done smaller batches on that still, and you'd have grown into it a little bit. So yeah, I try to tell everybody, it's not me trying to upsell you.
Yeah.
I actually make more money if you buy a 5 and then a 20 gallon later.
Yeah.
But
hey, we tell people the same thing. We always tell people the same thing. So it's like, man, ask around and see what guys who have been doing this, they'll all tell you the same thing. Like, man, don't waste your time buying a 5 or a 10. Get you a 20. You don't have to buy a 20 later, and you're ready to go. Now, if you're on the fence and you want to go real cheap, then yeah, get you a little starter and see how you like it. But then when the time comes, you're going to want a copper rig. It's just the way it is, man. It ain't no liquor like copper liquor. So,
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And it's just, it's just the way it is. So
yeah, I'll tell you though, man, it's cool to see like all them Vivers out there. I mean, you said it a while ago, but there was nothing like that not that long ago. And just in general, the industry as it is today it's incredible. I've been doing it, a little over 10 years now. And like literally today, if you want to start making liquor, like there is no better time than today.
No better time.
There's no better time to buy a still. There's no better time to get ingredients shipped right to your door.
And there's no better time than to meet top quality dudes, top quality shiners who will bring you in like family, treat you like a brother or a sister, and have your best interest and will look out for you every step of the way. And there's no better time,
absolutely.
And I think one thing that, I call it the Vever explosion over the past couple of years has done, it's gotten a lot of, I'm not sure guys to make that jump in. And even if, it's that Vever, as soon as that liquor's coming out into that worm, it don't matter what it's running through, that's liquor. And you make that and you feel a connection and you love it. And that's what it's all about.
I mean, Vever is great because, I mean, at the end of the day, it is hard. If you're not sure if you want to do this, it's hard to go drop several hundred to several $1,000s on something, I mean, what the cheapest Vever you can get, a little 5-gallon right now, you're talking 120 to 170 bucks, right? I mean,
I'm willing to gamble on that. And for most guys, it's like, man, my wife is tired of all my hobbies. I got all these hobbies I start. She told me my next hobby is finding a new wife because I'm going to be living on the streets. And so, they're like, hey, babe, this hobby, I get started for $100 and we both like to drink. We both like to drink. So let's. I will
say that hobbies are not designed for men. All of our hobbies are expensive. If it's cars, guns, I mean, even eventually moonshine, I will say making liquor, it can get expensive. It doesn't have to be, but
hey, it's just like anything else, man. Like, I don't need that turbo 5,000 chip in my Mustang, but you bet your ass I want that 50-gallon copper Cadillac from North Georgia Stills.
That's right, yeah.
It's just the way it is, man. It's who we are, bigger, faster, stronger. It's who we are, and the sooner you accept that, the better time you're going to have. You're going to have a better time. Right. So that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. So y'all got anything fermenting right now?
Nah, I'm done fermenting for. We're going through a little warm snap now, but it's definitely it's blind hope. And and
What
it gets too cold to be outside. So,
what kind of temperatures y'all got up there?
we got up to about 60 today.
Did you? So did we. So did we.
And that's very unnormal for here. So we know it's messing with us.
Yeah. Oh, it's barely winter. It just what was it? I think 5 days ago it turned officially winter. So
yeah. So we know here it messes with us. We go up and down.
Yeah.
Ours is like a bipolar spouse. You know, one day it's hot, next day it's cold, and when it gets cold, it gets cold. So
hell yeah.
We just take it for what it is. So yeah, nothing as of now. You know, we got some things we're thinking about in the future, and we'll cross that bridge when it comes. So
yeah. So
your cup is right there.
Are both of y'all running liquor now?
No, we don't run liquor up here anymore. We've retired from liquor running.
Okay.
We just we make how-to videos and help people out. That's all we do.
I hear you.
We run a podcast. This is like a full-time job for me.
I hear that.
Dealing with between Sean and Phil Billy, I ain't got no free time.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think I ain't got no hair? You know? Yeah, trust me.
That's because Phil's riding your ass when he's pulling
it. That hair ain't that long.
He's talking
Yours is same thing.
He's talking about your back hair, not the hair on your head.
My old lady keeps that shaved. We're good.
Call me fucking Wookie over here.
Oh man, I keep mine hidden. Keep my sweater underneath my shirt. Oh man, sorry y'all. This it took a little turn. It happens. We'll get back on track.
Usually does.
It wasn't me this time though. This was Sean's fault. It's usually my fault. So
I need a refill after all that shit. That's a visual right there.
So Sean, dude, you got to try this pineapple I got from JJ. Well, it ain't gonna be this pineapple because there ain't gonna be none of this left. But he's gonna have to give you something to try. You'll like it.
Brandy or infused or both?
Ask him. I don't know. It's got pineapple hints to it. It's all right, man.
Is it clean?
It's one step above.
Cleaner.
Cleaner. You're such a dick, man. What? Don't let him be like that to you, JJ. There's no reason for that. So I met Andrew for the first time in person at the Jam this past year. And I think I had ventured over to your tent before, the year before. And
you too?
Hell yeah, man. I was there. I definitely ventured over. But
did you? Okay. Because I was going to say, Sean and Hooch ventured over the year before too, and I told him to fuck off, basically.
I mean, I don't blame you. Like,
no, I didn't. So
I get that 100%. I try to do that now, but it doesn't work. So
I will say, funny story. The year before this past year, I think we were there late, and so we were trying to set up, and it was hotter than hell. And
sounds like Maggie Valley.
And Sean showed up, and I remember talking to him. I was trying to set up the little still that we run water through.
Yeah,
and I feel like I was really rude to him.
Yeah,
and I wasn't trying to be at the time.
They bring it. Sean brings that out of you. It's just that's his way.
Well, and I told him later on too, and I was like, afterwards, it kind of hit me. I was like, man, I know them guys from TV and the internet too. Those guys are superstars. And
lied to Sean.
No, he's big money right there.
I like Sean. He's high sometimes.
No.
So
no, you're a superstar, man. You went on there, you kicked ass. No.
I got lucky.
You're a superstar in my eyes, my hero.
You are, yeah, I agree.
Side of my cleavage, Sean, right here.
You got to move, comb that hair to the side.
I'll shave it. I'll shave it for a signature.
And Big Easy, it's funny that that you were saying. So you were there. What would that have been? 2021.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the year. It was in the fall, wasn't it? Like they pushed it back.
No, it was in July. It was hot as shit. It was July.
Yeah, because I think the year before that year it got canceled.
Yeah, the COVID year got canceled.
And then the one before that, it was absolutely beautiful, dude. I'm talking like it was like 70 degrees.
Let's see, 21 was my first year.
20 2019 or 2020 was our first year.
It had been 19.
Was absolutely beautiful. And so we were thinking the whole time, like, damn, man, this is beautiful weather. We're going to come back here like middle of July, right down home, back at home. It's fucking 90 degrees. We're dying.
Yeah.
This is like a vacation. And then we got there that next year and we're like, oh.
And in 22 wasn't no favors either. This is brutal. But you know, like I said, I saw your setup in 21, and then to come back in 22, it was just like the massiveness and just the awesomeness that you saw at your tent. So if you go to Maggie Valley, as soon as you walk in, you ain't got no choice but to see the North Georgia tent. And then you walked in, and it was an experience. Like it was a still experience. You had the 350s with Shua and Pro and Hooch sitting there, and then as soon as you walk past that, you got Shua's Figgins. It looks like a big ball sack, and then you get around that, and you got all these little North Georgia pots, and if that wasn't amazing enough, man, you had the 110 that you built for Amanda Bryant sitting there. And so if you loved copper stills, you was in heaven. As soon as you walked into the jam, you're like, man, I can leave. I could die happy. Like this is where it's at.
Yeah, and it worked out really cool last year because they were, Hooch and Shua and Roz and all them guys, Prohibition, we're all setting up as well. And we're like, well, let's see if we can kind of set it all up together so we can have all the stills just in one place. And that was really cool. Yeah. And yeah, I can't wait for next year, man. That is Maggie Valley is kind of like our big deal, like our big get out, and we try to bring everybody and have a good time. It's fun because you get to meet old people you've known for a while, new people, and
people you've talked to. I had linked with you before that and was like, hey, man, you want to try some peach brandy? I made up here in Ohio, and you want some stickers? And here's some stickers, he sent me a koozie and shit back. And it was really cool, and then just get there and meet you. And then it's like, hey, man, come up in my trailer here. I got something to show you. And I'm like, hey, man, you had me a trailer. Like, I'll get in a white van. I'll get in anywhere. Like, I'm easily abducted and taken advantage of. Why do you think they call me Big Easy? Like I'm easy. Like it doesn't take much. Like
we have. I mean, I will say this about the North Georgia crew is, I mean, anywhere we go, we roll heavy and we have fun.
Yeah, you could definitely tell like it's all family style. Like it is your family, but then the branches off the tree that you've put out for all these other guys, it's like you can tell that you brought them in and everybody's like family. And in my mind, that's how it should be. That's how it should always be, that when somebody else wants to do something or they want to pick your brain or they're interested in what you're interested in, then why not be that guy that goes above and beyond and helps that person? Yeah, because you catch more flies with honey. And you catch more bees with honey.
Yeah.
My bad. JJ hitting me a little hard over here, huh? It's pineapple. So, while we're talking about that, I'd seen there's a few new podcasts coming up, and there's guys wanting to start a Moonshine podcast. And just like when me and Sean started, somebody went to Hooch like, hey, man, there's these guys. What do you think about that? Are you mad? And same thing with us. And I'm like, bro, are you serious? Like, let me tell you something, man. If you're wanting to start a podcast and you want to start a Moonshine podcast, we will help you and answer any question any way we can. We will support you. We will listen to your podcast. We will gladly invite you on our podcast to promote your podcast. And so
it's got to do with editing. Otherwise,
I mean, I ain't editing. You can edit on your podcast all you want. That's your thing. You come here, it's uncut. But yeah, just in case anybody wonders or anything about that, you got questions about starting your own podcast, you want to know, the pros and the cons of it and how we do it. And, we are always here to help. And I look forward to more of them because I think there needs to be more. There's not enough out there.
Absolutely.
It's, in our mind, it's us and Untaxed. I love Untaxed.
That's what I was going to say. Uncut and untaxed.
Those
are
And I love Untaxed. I love the way they do it. I love the professionalism of it. I like Hooch more than Shua. Oh.
Yeah.
That was my jab at Shua tonight. So we all got our favorites.
You only got about 3 foot to hit him. So
No, Shua's good people, man. He's
yeah,
good.
I love
people.
Shua, man. I like them all. So that's awesome.
I will say though, I mean, just on a side note about podcast, I mean, the whole being uncut thing is kind of fun though, right? And
yeah.
You say something you're not supposed to. Oops, it's out there. Whatever.
You better own that shit.
That's right.
You own
it. I will say. So we did an episode with Untaxed, and it was fun. But we had to do 2 takes. And I'm gonna throw my old man under the bus here. But somebody had too much to drink that first day. we sat down to start filming, and woo! Y'all may have cut that shit out of uncut. Okay,
we wouldn't have. It'd have been on there. Didn't Shua throw up that weekend too?
Did he?
I thought I heard that. Oh man, I put you out there, Shua. My bad. So
yeah.
Is that
what you guys? It on the internet, so it must be true now, right? Everybody heard it now, so it's true.
Hey, it was on uncut. It's true.
That's right.
That's awesome. So, what's your favorite thing to make, Andrew? Favorite thing for you to make? I know North Georgia's got the mixes out. The apple pie mixes, and our buddy Bennett has used those to infuse clear apple pie and jar rigs. I've tried the green apple and a couple different ones, and so what's your favorite thing for you to make that you love to drink?
So probably, just corn liquor, like just straight corn liquor,
like yellow corn, like just straight yellow corn, like yellow corn or white corn, like a certain type of corn, or just.
So Bloody Butcher is my favorite corn.
Oh, I love Bloody Butcher.
But I also normally only use that if I'm using like other grain with it, kind of trying to make something a little bit nicer.
Yeah, Bloody Butcher's pricey.
Right. But yeah, like just a good smooth corn liquor. I'll tell you who has a really kick-ass, just straight corn liquor is Prohibition 1920 with his sweet corn.
Sweet.
Oh, that's super sweet, man.
Really good.
That's.
I really liked it. And I was really sad when my little jar ran out that I had. So if he's listening, you could hook a brother up and send some more. So
you would think he'd have brought you a big old jar of it. I know every time I used to make brandy, I always slide Sean a jar like, here you go, bro, I got you.
Yeah. But then other than that, that's really my favorite thing to make, I guess.
Are you talking?
I like making, like I said earlier, I've got a rum that I'm aging right now. I like rums. I like brandies, depending on what it is. Like some flavors, I don't like, I guess. But
you like what you like, man. So.
Yeah, corn liquor is like my favorite thing to make. But I like whiskeys and rums and stuff like that. So. I'm not a big vodka or gin type of person anyway, so I don't really like the neutral stuff like that. It's not that I won't drink it, but so
I don't like gin. It hurt me once badly, and I just don't like. It's not my deal. Vodka. It's vodka reminds me of your 150 proof that's coming out of your still. It's too high to drink and. It's got almost no flavor to it.
Yeah, see, my brother went through like a gin thing not long ago.
Yeah.
So every time we'd wind up at his house, he'd have a damn bottle of gin. And I'm like, man, just give me a fucking beer.
Just give me a beer. Don't even pour that. Don't even want to smell it.
That's not to knock on people that make gin because I know it's hard. I know that people that make really good gins, there's a lot of
it's an art,
it's an art. Yeah.
It's absolutely. A craft and much respect, like I said, I can respect something and not like it. I can respect it. But I ain't gotta like it. I can respect Coffee Shine, but I ain't gotta like it. And I ain't gotta try it either. So I'm good, man. So.
Yeah. I had my first jar of Coffee Shine from Texas Papa.
That's the common theme. I tell you, Texas Papa needs to get with somebody and put that shit on a shelf by now because
does, man.
That shit is coast to coast, and everybody talks about that.
So it's good for what it is. I couldn't drink it straight, I guess, or all the time, really.
I would imagine that's like, you get your little Irish breakfast going on.
Right. That's
chase the hair of the dog. Like I need a little something. I just need something to take the edge off.
Yeah.
I'm dying over here.
Coffee is a breakfast thing for me. So it'd be hard to kind of mix the both of them at the same time anyway, but
it'd be hard for me to have some drinks for breakfast because then I'm like, hey man, fuck today. Fuck today. I'm pulling a roll, son, and I might see Jesus and Tupac tonight. I don't know, man, but let's get turned up. So.
That's funny.
So, I gotta ask your opinion. I gotta know what happens when you put Dawn dish soap in a hot tub.
I will tell you what happens. So you get a letter or you get an email from the people who own the house a day later.
You didn't know that one was coming, did you?
Ooh, no, sure. Oh yeah,
no, I didn't know that was coming.
Good times, man. Yeah.
We know things around
everybody
here.
knows. Well, you guys know Waylon, of course, right?
Yeah, we know Way.
Old Waylon, yeah. So we were all having a good time in a hot tub one night in Tennessee. What was it? The Popcorn Jam, man. And Waylon comes out of nowhere like a fucking ninja with a fucking grenade of fucking soap in his arms and just cannonballs into the hot tub with Dawn dish soap. And it was fun, but yeah, I'll tell you what happens is the Airbnb people the next day, they email you and they interrogate you about what happened.
Y'all had a foam party, didn't you? It was a foam everywhere. Foam party.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's funny. I haven't thought about that in a long time, man. Thank you. That was fucking hilarious.
I heard whoever's in the background laugh too. So
she's sitting back there.
That's awesome. Good times. Good times. So. We'll get back to the regular show here.
So back to making liquor instead of foam bombs.
Ain't nothing wrong with a foam party. So, until you get an email from the Airbnb. Yep.
And a lot of times that is because of making liquor, right? I will say that in that house was sober that night.
Yeah. I would imagine not. So.
No.
Now, did you guys set up at the Popcorn Jam?
We didn't. We just so I guess what happened was I think we didn't set up. Roz and Hooch were going, and then Roz invited me and my wife, and then we were all going to surprise Shua. I think he didn't know anybody was coming, so. But yeah, we didn't set up. We went and we just kind of walked around and hung out, and it was fun because it's different than. That's one thing that kind of sucks about going to a festival and setting up is you're kind of married to where you're set up at. You don't get to go around and see everybody. And
that was my next question was how much did you enjoy that experience of being able to walk around at tent and shoot the shit with these guys and this and that, as opposed to, you're locked into that spot because you're working.
Yeah. So it is. It is. You are. I mean, like as far as being at Maggie Valley, it is more work. In a sense, but I love them both equally because, I mean, you're kind of doing the same thing. You're just a little bit less restricted if you're not tied down to, your own booth. So we were actually just talking about Popcorn Sutton and if we wanted to try to set up there this year or just go and just kind of hang out. And I said, my vote was, let's just go and hang out, and it's a month, I think a month and a half before Maggie Valley. We're going to have a whole bunch of setup to do then. So let's go have a good time, hang out, and then let's go to Maggie Valley and do that there. So if that makes sense. So
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a lot. Like when you're standing there and you're talking and you're working and you're meeting people, you're shaking hands, You know, if you're famous like Sean, you're signing autographs.
Kissing, we call it kissing hands and shaking babies.
Kissing hands and shaking babies. He's
Yeah.
usually shaking something else, but it's different. You know, it's nice to not. That's a lot to do within a month, 2 times for a weekend. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, all the guys, all the master distiller guys, like I don't know how y'all are doing anything more than once or twice a year.
Sean just Sean
I'm
sits
done.
there and then he cats around with me like at the jam. I'm like, hey, grab your bottle, grab your cup, man. I know where to get drunk at. And so, here we are at North Georgia. Like, hey, what's up, fellas? Take me up in that. What's in there? It's in that trailer. Let me try that. I walked in that trailer. It was 150 degrees in there.
It was. We actually eventually put a fan in there. We rigged up a fan to get some air circulation, but yeah.
After I came in, it was way after that. So.
Yeah.
Do you blame them?
No. I'd have done the same thing. And you know, and who's just like, try this blackberry brandy, try this green apple, try this and try that, and I'm like, they all taste the same.
Yeah,
I don't care. And then
yeah,
I'm like,
but man,
that's the
really cool thing about those festivals is getting to like finally, like whether it's people you've met before or people you just kind of have talked to or whatever, you know, getting to meet up with people and taste their stuff, right? Because I can only tell you so much over the internet or over the phone what exactly I should taste, right? You know, but then it's cool, and those places are awesome for sure.
For me, it's finally getting to shake your hand, you know, finally getting to shake, you know, Matt LeMaster's hands, or meeting old Judd, and just finally meeting Shua in person. You know, I mean, I met him at the Winter Jam, but you know, just like that, just finally meeting you in person, shaking your hand, and actually getting that human connection as opposed to internet connection. You know, it takes it to a new level, and you sit there and you shoot the shit for a minute, and then you're just like, man, you know, I'd help that dude hide a dead body if he needed me to. So,
right?
Hopefully he don't, but if he does, you know, I'm all down for sketchy shit. So.
All right, let me save your number real quick.
Oh, you already got it. You already got to save it. So you already got it.
No, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's cool to be able to go to those things, and especially so like from my perspective of things too is just, and I'm sure y'all's as well, right? I'm sure y'all have met some of the guys that have equipment from y'all that y'all built, right? Stills, whether it's jars or whatever that y'all built for people, right? It's cool to taste.
Oh yeah,
people's shit that they've made out of things you built them, you know,
or you know, like. For me, people come up like, dude, I made your peach brandy and I love it. Or I did your mountain brandy. I'm hooked on mountain brandy. It's all I make. And you're just like, you're honored, you know, like you don't know how to feel about it. You're honored, and it makes you feel a little weird because you're unsure and you're humble, and you're like, man, I feel a little weird about this. And then somebody comes up and like, hey, sign this for me. And you're like, what the hell? Like, sign what for you? Like it's going to be worth less, but I got you, bro. But it makes you feel, you know, like what you're doing matters. You know, it matters.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
It matters to somebody.
I will comment on the signature thing, man. I've never signed anything in my life until I think it was 2 years ago. The Maggie Valley before this past one. And we had a family come up and they were wearing our shirts and they asked me to sign their shirts and our whole crew. That's wild, man. Like, it's humbling. I think you said it. It's weird. Like, it's a weird, like, that's really cool that y'all appreciate, you know, the stuff that we've built and done. And, you know, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I know Sean has signed more shit than the rest of us. So
shaking babies.
Shaking babies. Shaking babies and kissing hands.
That's right. It's so humbling that, you know, that somebody respects you enough to actually you know, and it's just,
it's really cool.
For normal guys, we're just not used to stuff like that, and you don't do any of that for it. Like Sean didn't go on TV to any clout or to be known. He went on TV because it's something he loves to do, and it was an opportunity presented to him. Like,
and I know we all fuck with him, you know, he's big time and he's movie star and all that shit.
Yeah, but he's our boy. We're supposed to.
Yeah,
you know, like that's what we're supposed to do. So. If you ain't giving your boys shit, are they really your boys?
Right.
You know,
you got the point.
And that's just how it is. And if you can't
All right.
handle it, then you don't need a part of this. You need to get on. So, what's your favorite type of yeast to use?
Favorite yeast? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I stole Sean's question.
it'd go between Daddy and Fleischmann, honestly.
Yeah. Welcome to the
I
dark
get
side.
down with that.
I get down with
Yeah.
that. We like that.
I mean,
we like that bread
we
yeast.
started using Fleischmann, and it has always worked well. It produces a great flavor. Daddy doesn't. It's not bad. We get a lot of it because people love it, so we get a lot of it. And so a lot of times we've got some spare that I'll be able to use. But Fleischmann makes a freaking killer whiskey, in my opinion. Like if you're doing anything with grain, Fleischmann is almost preferable to Daddy, in my opinion. That's just me. I don't know. What about y'all?
You know, we about that bread yeast around here. That Saf instant bread yeast, man, that shit will ferment anything.
Cold.
I tell you, it'll ferment cold. You know, we're all about cold up here. Like it's got to be able to work cold.
And so sorry to interrupt, but that's a great thing about the damn what the fuck did I just say? God damn, I can't think. Not the Daddy, the
Fleischmann's.
The Fleischmann, yeah.
Got you, bro.
Fucking mind fart there.
That's why we're here. Blame Sean.
Dude,
bear in mind, fuck.
It is tough. That shit is tough, man. Like it's hard to kill. You know, like a lot of yeast is very temperamental.
It is.
Not Fleischmann.
No,
that was my point before I had a whole fucking meltdown on my brain.
Hey, man. So. Sometimes you got to cross the river to get to the boat. So that's just the way it is.
I like your fucking one-liners though. Nobody knows what they mean, but
they don't. You know, no, you know what they.
I know what they mean.
Yeah, see, that's all that matters. Like people will get it. Like, man, what the hell did he just say? Like, what the hell did he just say?
Well, first of all, Fleischmann is a hard fucking word to say. Can we all be honest?
We got that.
This shit sounds German or something.
That's right up there with Worcestershire sauce. Like you keep throwing me bones. I'm gonna take them, man. Yeah, you keep feeding the beast. I'm gonna
right in the ass.
Hey, whatever gets the job done. You know.
Oh God.
Fuck you, Sean. That's a good one.
This was fun. Yeah.
That's a good time.
So I got a question for y'all.
Yeah, ask away.
What's your favorite kind of still to run? Or if you could have your ultimate still, what would it be?
Pickle jar.
Pickle jar. Come on.
No, I had to. No, I would like me a 150 with a 50-gallon thumper, and so like you can use like the 50 can become a pot by itself with the cap from the 150, and it all runs into a whiskey barrel big giant worm.
Yeah. So super.
Oh, super traditional. Not one damn thermometer on the whole thing. Not one thermometer. I know that hurts you a little bit.
No.
I know that hurts you a little bit, Andrew, but not one thermometer on the whole damn thing.
I will agree with you there.
A little bit, so.
I will say, and for anybody listening, like, fuck the thermometer. You don't need it. You really don't.
No, they're nice to have, though. They are nice.
They are. They're fun during heat up, right?
Yeah, I like.
You can watch shit.
Oh yeah.
But you can do the same shit if you just use your hands and just feel it travel, right?
My 150 would also have a burn tube in the middle. I like the burn tube.
Yeah,
I'm a burn tube guy.
All right,
because you know I'm gonna run it on flame. You know, ain't no point for elements. I'm a gas on.
I don't know why we like gas in Ohio, but
it keeps us warm. Yeah. And damn heat elements don't put off enough heat to keep you warm.
That's true. You northern guys, man. See, we can run electric down here because we're not so worried about the cold. up by y'all need that fucking propane because it'll
need
heat
it
the
more
whole room.
It will. If not, you're freezing. Like you're touching the stick, hugging it. Like I'm so cold. I'm so cold. Like you get 2 jet burners running in a building, and you're gonna be out of your jacket. You're gonna take the doors off. And it's
Standing outside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there. Like, look, man, I'm half in, half out of the building just so I can regulate. It's way too hot in there. He's like, but it's snowing outside. Like, dude,
well, he's out there like this.
I'm fat as shit. I can't stand in there. Half and half, man. Like, it's kind of
Right.
like when you're sleeping and you're hot as shit. You got to poke one leg out underneath the cover, and that gets you at your right temperature, and then you can sleep.
Dude, total sidetrack.
Equalize.
I'm the same way. Sorry.
Boom.
Anyway.
Boom.
So
what?
What's your perfect still? If you could create your forever still, what would it be?
Forever still?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say forever still because it's always changing. But like for right now, like what would you dream to have?
Probably a 300-gallon.
Yeah, just
if it was in the building, just a pot with a wood barrel thumper. Well, I guess that's more so if it was outside, but just a normal thumper and a worm and a 50-gallon fucking plastic barrel.
Yeah.
I'm simple, man.
Yeah. Well, I know it's funny because I mean, there's a lot of shit out there nowadays that you got the high tech whiz bang.
Yeah.
But I would do the same thing. I mean, it would be very simple. I would even debate like if I would have a thumper, but I would want to be able to take it in and out, and that would be it. I mean, big old still, nice size thumper, nice size worm. But I mean, yeah, it would be simple. I feel like there's a lot of shit nowadays that kind of makes it overcomplicated. Columns are great. I will never, say that they're not needed, I guess, but that would be mine too. I like flavor.
Yeah.
When I'm going through my still.
Me too.
Those columns are needed where they're needed. Like when they're needed, they serve their purpose.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jack Daniel's 18-foot wide, 36-foot tall column. I mean, they know what they're doing for sure. But, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your
beat me to it
dream still?
I mean, very similar to yours. That's what I was just saying. I mean, it would be very simple. I mean, right now, I mean, I wouldn't turn down, like 100, 120 gallon still with a nice 30, 40 gallon thumper and a big old 40, 50 gallon condenser and so if we get specific, I want big old pipe on it, right? She's going to have big old pipe coming off of her. But yeah, and like a good 1-inch worm, right? I wanted to breathe. I want it all to be pretty simple. Nothing crazy. I don't want deflagmators. I don't want plates and coils,
pot cap thumper worm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that would be it. But I would want to be able to remove the thumper. I want to be able to pull it in and out.
That way, it could be like a stripping still,
and a spirit still all at the same time.
Yeah, that was my idea with the a 150 with a 50-gallon thumper.
Yeah,
they both got the same size ferrule on top, so you could take the cap off the 150 and put it on your 50, and it still hooks to your worm. Or you could remove the 50 and just run that 150 all by itself. And so, we've thrown out some plans. I believe there's somebody in here that can make it, and I know sure as hell it ain't me or Sean.
But yeah, and that's the thing too. Like just the pot and cap.
I mean, we can make it, but not as pretty. Nowhere near as pretty. So.
That's my thing. I would like to have a pot and cap because you could, as far as thumpers go, you could go with like what Amanda has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More than one. Because you see a lot of people running jars. They have 2, 6, 3, whatever. I just plumb in fucking beer kegs like jars and be done with it.
Oh yeah, creating a badass thumper and a worm that's simple for guys like me and Sean. Like give me a barrel or a keg, that's a thumper.
Right. Yeah. So I actually
that piece of work.
when I I was at the shop today, and there's a guy. I don't know if y'all have seen him on TikTok, Georgia Shiner. He's a really good dude. He was actually at the jam, but he came by to kind of hang out for a little bit today and pick some stuff up. But he's wanting to do a still where it's basically like a reflux tower almost that drops into a thumper and then goes to your condenser. The idea is, right, you want to almost do like your spirit and stripping run all at once and then put it into a thumper to add some flavor back to it and then put it into your condenser. And we've actually tried something like that, and it's very finicky and you got to get your heat just right. You got to get that water flowing through that deflagrator just right. And a lot of times it doesn't end up with enough power to heat that thumper. So, which I feel like kind of brings me back to like, just if you keep it simple, I mean, a lot of times it's hard to reinvent the wheel. So what were we talking about just before that? Because there was a reason I brought that up.
Hell, who knows? Sean's mic ain't working. He's gone.
Is he?
He'll be back. No. Can't do anything. So,
There we go.
He's back, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it was because I brought up using like beer kegs as like jars on a bigger.
Yeah.
scale.
Oh, that's right. So that's what I was saying. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So, and that's what I was trying to tell him earlier today is, I mean, you can try to build something like that and it's going to cost a bunch of money. You're going to have to do a bunch of testing to get it just right. Or you go and build a jar system with thumpers, that's going to do the same thing, right? You're going to be able to purify that liquor and you're going to be able to add that flavor as you go from jar to jar. So that is exactly why. I'm glad you came back on because I had lost that train of thought.
At least somebody.
I'm the worst at it, man. Like I'll start going and then I need Sean to bring me back. So
no, man, if you need Sean to bring you back, then we're all in trouble.
God help us all.
But yeah, now also my opinion on anything above say
doesn't matter
50 or 60 gallon, I would veer away from the jars because by the time it takes you to get that thing going, if you have a leak, you've wasted a lot of time.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, so wait, you're saying bigger than 50, 60 gallons, if you've got a leak in the jars, you've wasted your time?
No. I mean, if you have to let the pot cool back down and then heat it back up because of how big it is, how long it takes.
Right.
So like if you had to stop mid-run.
Yeah.
Then
Then
the smaller pot would
aside
be
of it being a beer keg, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, what he's talking about is doing like, a 50, 60 gallon pot. So it'd be right on that cusp of
nice.
Is it worth it or not, I guess.
I had one that was it was about a 65. You may have seen it. And then it went to a distillery up here in Dayton and the guy blew it up.
Oh, you talking about the hexagon, right?
Yep.
The hexagon still the sideways. Yeah, he blew that thing up. Blew the pot up.
He was running it. He was doing a rerun for the third time, he said. And he had two elements in it, and he didn't put enough water in it. And one of the elements exposed and ignited the alcohol vapor. Filled it like a fucking sardine can.
Was anybody hurt?
No, they were all in the other room.
Because
I was hoping
I know of a very similar story down here where they fucking plugged the elements in and they didn't cover all the elements, and within minutes, like, because the elements were like literally hanging in and out of that liquid, right? Mm-hmm. And within minutes, it fucking boom. So
yep, and that's one of the things, like, people always ask about electric. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
So electric, in my opinion, the only reason I would say it's safer than running propane is because of the open flame. But that's only if you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. If you are not aware of your liquid levels and everything else, you probably shouldn't be running a still anyway. But
if you're running heat elements, you should definitely have sight glasses in your still.
Or fill it up.
Or fill it all
at
the way
least
up.
be able to do simple math. At least be able to do simple
Yeah.
math and know, like if I put 20 gallons of 30% liquor in here, I know where my shit's going to begin and end roughly.
Yep.
At least, yeah, it's one of those things. I guess you can go back and forth on what's safer is open flame, propane, or elements, but yeah.
I mean, it's all dangerous. every aspect of it's dangerous, and it all.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't even say it's dangerous. I mean, like it's like going out and
Like driving a car.
Yeah,
or driving a car, right? It can be.
If done incorrectly. I mean, and sometimes even done correctly, there's still an element of danger.
You're right.
Like no matter what.
Yes, you're right.
There's a potential if you do something wrong or you don't know exactly what you're doing, you could actually have a mistake that could be fatal or near fatal. And it's just make sure you know what you're doing. It's just like anything else. Like I'm not going to go put ball joints on my car because I ain't got no idea what I'm doing. I could change the oil though. But I'm not going to put ball joints on and drive down the road. That's just the way it is. So
yeah. I mean, there's always that chance.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you educate yourself as best you can,
and surround yourself by people that are more educated than yourself.
Absolutely. Well, that's the only way any of us learn, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
You never know everything. I mean,
right? You don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room, realistically.
Exactly.
But there can only be one master.
I was gonna say there's a joke in there somewhere.
Come on. Know what's coming. There can only be one master.
Bader and he's bald.
Ain't me. You shaved your head underneath that hat. All right. I got one more question for you. Have you ever built a submarine pot?
You want to?
You have? Do I want to? No.
How big?
Have I? Yes.
How big? Did you use copper or stainless?
Copper.
Okay.
Yeah, it was only like 10 gallons.
Oh,
nothing to speak of. Yeah.
How big? Let's go. We'll talk later. We'll talk later on that.
My dream is a stainless, but leave it where we're done with it.
Yeah. My dream's 1,000.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. We share a common dream on this.
That's a lot of sheets.
Hey, stainless. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna make it stainless. Leave it when you're done with it. It stays. So
yeah.
I would think something that big. You would almost want the stainless. It's so much weight.
Yeah.
So much stress.
No, you would.
I would think. But cool, man. Well, we've had you on here long enough. We've given Sean enough shit for one night, and
I'm used to it.
We greatly appreciate you. If anybody wants a copper Cadillac, best of the best copper still and like I said, in my opinion, one of the greatest coppersmiths in the world. And then you hit up old Andrew. You hit up his family business, which is amazing that him and his family built from the ground up. And I commend him on that. And I'm honored to meet you. I'm honored to call you my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see y'all again. Are y'all going to be y'all going to the Winter Jam?
I'm not going to the Winter Jam.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be there. So
maybe you should come up and say hi to us at Beattyville because we love Beattyville.
When is that?
June. It's usually the end of June.
I think around the time. That might be when popcorn is.
Is it?
It may be.
So I might skip Beattyville and see you at Popcorn if you're gonna be at Popcorn.
Yeah, so that's what I think we're talking about.
I've been wanting to go to Popcorn. I haven't been to that one yet. So we might bypass Beattyville this year and check out Popcorn. But
come on, let's do it.
I ain't sitting in no tent. I'll be
no. It's a straight. We go. We show up. We shake hands. Kiss babies. Shake hands. Whatever you want to do.
Nice. That sounds like a good time. Well,
yeah.
Shaking babies.
We really appreciate you giving up part of your Friday night and hanging out with us and having a few drinks and telling us a little bit about your history and why you do what you do and why you love what you do and the fact that you do it with your family and you enjoy it and y'all haven't killed each other yet. that's testament to the type of person you are. But I bet there's been some blowouts that we ain't gonna talk about. There's always some blowouts when you're dealing with family. Just a little bit.
Yeah, time or two. You never know. No, we all love each other. It's fun, man. We love it. So
at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
love and friendship, and so like I said, I'm honored that you was here, Sean. Thanks for joining us. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hope everybody has a great New Year.
Hey.
All right, we ain't leaving yet.
Hold on. We ain't done yet.
We ain't done.
Slow the fuck up, man. Come on.
My bad. I thought we was done.
So y'all do know what happens tomorrow, don't you?
Oh yeah. So
tomorrow, that
Ohio State knocks
Ohio
off Georgia.
State bullshit behind your head.
It's right here, boy. Oh, over here.
Oh, man.
Oh. All right.
Hey, you know what else comes from the same place that good football does?
What's that? Not moonshine. What you talking
Good
about?
liquor.
Yeah, good liquor. You're right. It's good liquor.
Hey,
not
I ain't
just
making
moonshine.
it, but it's
Hey,
still
I'm
coming
gonna be
from here.
texting y'all
It
too
comes.
tomorrow. We're gonna see what.
Oh
happens
yeah, we're gonna
tomorrow.
be giving you shit. So
Yeah.
if Ohio State beats Georgia, then Andrew's gonna build my still at cost.
Hey, I tell you what. Whoa. I tell you what though, if Ohio State beats Georgia tomorrow, I will put Noble Tucky's little Ohio State O on his still for free. I'll pay for that because we don't do that. There's a lady down the street that does that. I'll pay for his
nice.
Ohio State O.
All right, you heard it here, Noble Tucky, man. We got you back on this. he got out of the Big Easy. We get it. I don't blame you. And we're not putting up anything anyways. So
No, but if you guys do win, I was never here.
If you beat us, as long as you beat Michigan, we're good. So
fuck Michigan, man.
My man.
Fuck Michigan.
Love Andrew. Y'all buy a still from Andrew and tell him Big Easy and Sean sent you. You'll be glad you did. You know, if you're from Michigan, then you're probably gonna pay double. We're sorry.
Yeah. And if you guys beat us tomorrow, everybody from Ohio State's paying double. So
that's cool, except for Big Easy because we already got a deal. We already had a deal. Everybody heard. So, this is amazing, man.
Yeah, that was fun. We got to hurry up and get to Maggie Valley, man.
It'll be here before we know it. So, but probably see you at the popcorn if you're all there.
Yes.
Sure, if you're there, we'll have a drink. If not, then
we'll still have a drink.
Yeah, we still gonna have a drink. Yep, we'll have one for you. So
there you go.
So we love everybody, man. Anybody need something? Got any questions? Feel free to contact us. You want a beautiful piece of artwork made out of copper? Contact Andrew. Don't ask Sean anything. He doesn't know shit. But he's all right though. He does know how to. Hey, Sean can grow a beard. I'll give him that. He can't grow a beard.
He's a halfway decent human being.
You got that gray coming in, huh?
Yeah.
That's chasing that 2-year-old around. That's what that is. So it's only going to get worse. Just wait till she's 13.
I'm just going to shave it off so they ain't got a chance.
Now, by the time she's 4, he's going to look like fucking Frodo or something. You know.
He's already on his way. He already
well on my way.
Why stop the process now?
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, Andrew, don't log off here when we leave. So we'll shoot the shit for a minute. So everybody have a great night. Have a great New Year. I hope your drinking hurts you less than your domestic violence does, and don't drink too much, and you won't have that problem. You're good. Love your family. Love your wife. Everybody have a great New Year. And thanks for joining us. And don't put Dawn in your hot tub.
Yeah, don't do that. It'll fuck that shit up.
Stay thirsty.
Shine on.